What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more Fall of the House of X. This time with the fourth and final tie-in issue of X-Men Forever. And if you guys missed any part of this X-Men Forever series, or this Fall of the House of X event, then I'll place a card at the top of the screen for you right now. And I'll put a link up at the end of this video. But in that last X-Men Forever issue, we saw Mystique prepare to go on the search for Charles Xavier right after Nightcrawler's botched family reunion. All while Hope Summers attempts to wipe out and rebirth the Phoenix. Unbeknownst to everyone though, Mother Righteous has already snitched on their plans to Enigma, who ended the issue back in time, exactly 9 months before Hope Summers' birth, as he was meeting with Hope's mother. So if you guys are ready to find out if Enigma is able to put a swift end to the X-Men's plans of bringing back the Phoenix to stop them, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So this issue kicks off with Destiny in Pacific Krakoa. And as she's approached by Sinister, she can't help but to confide her nervousness in him regarding their current situation. No matter what they do, she still sees Enigma winning. So Sinister decides to tell her a story. One that he's not particularly proud of, he says, but once he constructed a model that could predict all of the actions of mutant kind. And it did well until the Phoenix came and burned his city to the ground. The point is, if the Phoenix plan works, no one will see it coming, including Enigma, including you. But this still doesn't change the fact that Raven is gonna die. No one gets it, Destiny tells Sinister. She wants to protect her, so she studied Raven's futures and she's seen Raven die over and over again. And I think I'd have to say that this is the ultimate in stalking. Like Destiny is the GOAT of stalkers at this point for that line. Congratulations, you played yourself. But Sinister tells her that he managed to study her Raven predictions with his Moira engine, and she constantly overestimates the chance of her death. In fact, by about 50%. Her math is likely thrown off by her sight being drawn to timelines where Raven dies. This is why love is a weakness, he tells her. So Destiny wonders why he's telling her this. But he tells her that everyone wants to take him out. He would do good to try to cut that number down. But eventually he's able to convince her to work to change their destiny, so she finds Raven before she takes off and tells her that she will help her find Xavier now. No matter what she sees ahead, she's gonna walk with Raven. She trusts her. And at first Raven is so pissed off that she doesn't even want Destiny's help anymore. But she eventually caves in and they decide to go save their family. Together. Then we pick up with Hope Summers in the White Hot Room. And she's got her Legion rifle now. She's an Omega level power manipulator and Legion's an Omega level power manifester. Together they can do anything. And now she's ready to hunt her some Phoenix. And as she chases after and fires at the Phoenix, Jean Grey telepathically tells her that she's given the Phoenix a target for its anger now. So good luck. Legion, meanwhile, lets out a war cry directed at his pops, but Hope doesn't relate. Her father Cable would have loved this. But Legion asks her about the other guy, the donor. To throw out a nice little FU to a pops that wasn't there will let out a lot of frustrations. But Hope's never felt anything about him though. She doesn't really care about him at all. She had the best dad in the world with Cable, but she does wish she knew her mom though. Then we pick up with Enigma in Anchorage, Alaska, and his meetup with Hope's mom, 9 months before she's born. And he tells her that she's gonna give birth in 9 months. And she'll be recovering from labor when men with flamethrowers arrive and take out her and everyone else in the hospital out of fear for her child. You'll die in significant pain, but I can save you from that. Now mind you, this weird looking dude just walked into the bar where she was chilling at and told her that she's gonna give birth in 9 months and somebody's gonna come in and wipe you out with a flamethrower right afterwards. And she's not even pregnant just yet, which is probably why she's at the bar. She's like, boy, if you don't get your ass out of here. But then he tells her that he knows because he went and he watched it for himself. Then he lets her feel what it felt like. And after she's experienced it, now she's like, what do you suggest? Simultaneously, the Hope begins to feel her head start pounding and she can feel that something is wrong. And Enigma tells her mother that at the moment when she's supposed to die, he can pull her from the timeline into a place very much like heaven and then place her back later after everything is over, whenever she wishes. He simply needs to be Hope's father. Meanwhile, in the White Hot Room, Hope is down and dazed, and now the Phoenix comes back for the attack. But Jean Grey is able to hold it at bay for a while and convince it to leave her alone. Then she asks Hope what's going on with her. She won't be able to hold back the Phoenix for long, but she's going to have to get herself together. But then Jean takes one look at Hope's face. No, this isn't you, she tells her. And then she flies off in a blaze, still burning with the Phoenix fire. I can stop it. I have to stop it, she says. All while Enigma tells Hope's mother that he will save Hope too. Right now, she's gonna die. Her friends are sacrificing her for their own gain. But you, as her mother, can protect her if you agree. So what do you think, he asks. And then we see Enigma's imprint on Hope's forehead as she asks Jean, what's wrong? That's crazy, y'all. But then we switch over to Charles Xavier in his cell on the Orchis base as guards come rushing in to attempt to move their prisoner. But there's a massive explosion as Destiny and Mystique are revealed, with Destiny demanding her memories back so she can love her son. And at first he stalls for a second, but then she tells him to hurry because death was coming in 10 seconds. So he unlocks the barrier that he put up, and Destiny immediately feels a rush of regret for abandoning her son. And then Nimrod shows up. And Destiny knows that this is the moment that she'd feared so badly, and she hates that she was right. But then Exodus teleports in and rescues the two ladies. Then we go back over to Alaska with Enigma and Hope's mom. But now Jean Grey pops up, and she's here to set the record straight on Hope's importance. And she tells Hope's mom, your daughter was sent by the Phoenix to make the Phoenix. That's what you choose to do here. She came to save mutant kind, but more, she saves everyone. And this guy's a monster, but Enigma rebuts that we are all monsters descended from monsters. That is inevitable. In the end, we all draw a circle around what matters and kill everything that threatens it. Krakoa was mutants finally learning the real lesson. In reality, all you can do is look after yourself. Then he tells Hope's mom to learn their lesson. Look after yours. You, your daughter. Join with me. But she's heard enough, and she tells Enigma that him thinking like that shows exactly who he is. Then she asks Jean what her daughter is like. And Jean tells her that she's fierce. She swears a lot, and she looks like you. She's called Hope, and her mom likes that name. What's having kids but an act of hope, she says. But Enigma can't fathom why she'd consider turning down his offer. Jean is selling you a pretty fantasy, but don't forget the reality that you'll die in pain. And then he gives her another reminder of that feeling. Feel it, he tells her. Feel your skin flake and your throat tear as you try to find a scream loud enough. She is asking you to make a sacrifice for a world you will never see and a daughter you will never know. And the girl will still die. But Hope's mom is a firefighter. She runs into blazing buildings. She knew eventually she was gonna get burned. Then she sends him off, and just like that, he vanishes. So now Hope's mom tells Jean, let's go ahead and get this over with. But she's not gonna sleep with her. But Jean assures her that that won't be necessary. And then Jean Grey basically imprints the Phoenix onto Hope's mother, basically tying Hope's birth to the birth of the Phoenix, kind of creating a circle, and leaving Hope's mom with no memory of this. Meanwhile, back in the White Hot Room, Hope is now back, and as is the Phoenix, but Hope is able to use Legion to fire a huge blast, and the bird explodes, tossing Hope into the air and knocking her out. And then Jean Grey reemerges next to Hope's unconscious body, as the Phoenix now also reemerges, but from Hope. So now Jean Grey is like, let me make sure I understand this correctly. This is where you begin? And now the new bird tells her, yes, this is where it ends and begins over and over again. It was here that what was always in motion was set in motion. I am the phoenix now and forever, an unbroken circle of fire. But now, if it's to fight Enigma, it must feed. Then we switch back over to Krakoa, and another Sentinel attack is underway as Exodus teleports back with Destiny and Mystique. And now that she's got her memories back, she rushes over to give her son the hug that he deserves, and she apologizes to him. But then in that moment, the Hope Sword is back with Nightcrawler, which leads Destiny to conclude that Hope is dead. But Exodus tells her no. That means Hope has returned to where she came. She is with Krakoa in exile. But Nightcrawler reminds him that all of the rest of the mutants are all still trapped there in the White Hot Room, lost forever. But Exodus tells him that they will return. The Krakoan age will come again, and we must all fight in this fallen world to prepare for their coming. But Nightcrawler admits that it's hard to still have faith after everything that's transpired. But if the Phoenix is really coming, then perhaps they have a chance. But when he asks Destiny if they can win, she still doesn't see a path to victory. But she doesn't expect to either. What she does see, though, is not very comforting. Meanwhile, back in the White Hot Room, all of the remaining mutants wonder what happens next for them, as they've been left behind. And who will be in charge now? And they all begin to complain. But eventually, Lil Kafka gets up and he yells for them all to shut up. He's heard enough. Then he tells them all that they have to be better. They are in charge now. And that means they're the quiet council. And that means they're going to have to be quiet and start listening. And as they now plan their new future, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about this issue? And this X-Men Forever tie-in series as a whole? Did it answer enough of your questions? I must say that all of the Phoenix stuff is still a little bit confusing, but I'll ride with it. I'm just happy to see this final boss battle with Phoenix versus Enigma. That feels like it's building up to be one epic fight, and I'm here for it. But how did you guys feel about the Phoenix being tied to Hope Summers like it now appears to be? Does that explain or work for you? And how do you guys see this entire Fall of the House of X event coming to an end? We're getting very close to that last moment with only a handful of issues left. So hopefully this thing can wrap up in a way that makes everybody happy. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking you up some of this new merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video, or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership. And there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll gain access to weekly interactive live streams with yours truly, where we could talk about everything that's been going down in these issues, as well as ones that you'd like for me to go over in the future and other comic book news. Plus, you guys will get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And now we've got new tiers to the memberships as well, starting at just 99 cents. Now, how's that for an easy way to help out and support your favorite channel? Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still be a tremendous help to the future of this channel by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out. Peace.